This land is my land, from California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. I roamed and rambled, and I followed my footsteps to the sparkling sands of her diamond desert. Sand all around me, a voice was singing. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island. From the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. There was a big high wall there that tried to stop me. A sign was painted, said Trump 2016, but on the backside it didn't say nothing. This land was made for you and me. In the squares of the city, by the shadow of the steeple, by Dulles Airport, I see my people as they stood there hurting. I stood there asking, is this land made for you and me? This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. From Whittier, California, I'm Charles Bennett.
I'm Sarah Wozniak.
And this is Music and Musings. So, why restart Music and Musings? Why restart it now? It's been 6 years, and I've decided to restart it to cover the resistance against that very, very sad orange man currently occupying the White House. Sad, 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 wrong, sad, nasty woman.
Bad hombre.
You're supposed to point at me.
Bad hombre. Dios mío.
Anyway, our top story is, of course, the Donald. Dun 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 dun. And of course, there's his whole anti-Muslim ban thing, and he's planning on building the giant wall.
Great Wall of Mexico. Make Mexico pay for it. The San Ysidro port of entry has been closed like the last 5 weekends because of all the gas, oil protests.
How the hell am I going to get to TJ? I haven't been to TJ since I was in the womb.
Best lobster.
Anyway, I kind of feel like he is priming his supporters for bigger and bigger lies. How do you feel about that?
I feel even his way of distrusting other people in the White House makes the world in the U.S. distrust him a lot more, even when he chooses to do things and then calls the media being fake news or out.
Fake news. Sad.
Alternative facts. Hashtag.
Well, did you hear that he has stopped letting CNN and some of those other news sources attend his press conferences?
Right, yeah, and then the Associated Press, and I think like Huffington Post, kind of in solidarity. He also stopped the BBC from going to his press conferences, and he says he likes watching Fox News.
Okay, this is three or fourfold. He is priming his supporters for bigger lies. He's creating a smokescreen. You know Jacob Berry, right?
Is he in the White House?
No, we went to college with him.
Oh, Jakey.
Anyway, Jacob Berry posted
on the book face
on Facebook a long thing about his education policies that he and Betsy DeVos are. You know, you need to take the Betsy DeVos standardized test.
Is that reinstating dinosaurs?
The Trump-DeVos standardized test. Let me see if I can get this open.
I don't believe in books.
Books are sad and wrong.
A lot of words. A lot of words.
The best words. The best words.
Twitter is like a live book that that's like how kids will read now. Tweet.
Where is it?
Do you have it on your document folder?
Yeah, I wrote it. I wrote the Trump DeVos standardized
I
test.
thought Betsy wrote it.
She can write.
Touche.
Okay, Sarah,
Okay.
question 1. This is a language question. Which is larger, bigly or huge?
Does huge have 2 U's?
Oh,
it's with a Y.
which is larger,
Huge.
bigly or
Huge.
huge? Oh, a history question. At what time was America its greatest? A, 1862, B, 1886, C, 1929, D, 1946, or E, 1955?
When it was the greatest, or when it's great again?
Well, when's Donny Boy throwing it back to?
55.
The joke is that all of those are really, really shitty years. Question 3. Calculate Donald Trump's alimony to Marla Maples. Assume Marla is a total loser and Donald's net worth is $25 billion.
Nothing. She gets 143 characters.
140. Number 4. Al Franken just gave a speech critical of 3 of Donald Trump's cabinet appointees. The speech was covered on PBS and retweeted 3,500 times. How sad is this?
Hugely sad.
Sad.
So sad. What's going on? What's going on?
I mean, we need to find out what's going on here. By the way, after I edit it, right now, I'm just going to insert a supercut I did of Donald Trump saying, we need to find out what's going on here. There's something going on, it's bad.
We have to figure out what's going on.
Hey, what is going on here?
There's something going on, and it's bad.
Hey, what is going on here?
There's a problem. There's something wrong. Something's going on.
Hey, what is going on here?
We've got to figure out what's going on.
Hey, what is going on here?
We have to find out what's going on.
Hey, what is going on?
I called the mayor. I said, what's going on?
Hey, what is going on here?
And people are looking at that, and they're saying, what's going on?
Hey, what is going on here?
What is going on, Mika?
Hey, get away from that intercom, Eric.
President Obama, where he refuses even to use the term of what's going on.
Hey, what is going on here?
So will Donald be saved by the bell, though?
Will the American country be saved by the bell? That bell rings at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific, January 20th, 2021.
They're going to do a big ceremony, I hear, at Times Square. It's going to be like a dropping of the ball.
Question 5. Where did all the jobs go? A, Mexico. B, China.
China. I think there's a Y in there, though. China.
C, Russia. D, India. Or E, Flint, Michigan.
They're just not here. No one in the whole entire U.S. is employed, I believe.
I mean, we know we're in trouble when Donald Trump is less qualified to be president than my dad is. And Betsy DeVos is less qualified to be Sec of Ed than my mom is. Question 6. How much wall is a giant wall that's 1,989 miles long, 5 feet thick, and 30 feet high? No, scratch that. 32 feet high. This Sunday Fox is getting on my nerves.
She's so overrated.
Vicente Fox is a he. And you know what he is? According to Donald Trump?
Overrated.
And a bad hombre.
A bad hombre. Oh, Dios mío. No bueno. Is it going to be like the Great Wall in China? We'll do like people who died on the Great Wall of China were like built in the wall.
I don't want the wall. The wall is sad. The wall is sad. The Muslim ban is sad. Resistance to those is necessary. Resistance to Steve Bannon is necessary. I mean, technically, the Democrats could force a vote about whether or not he should be on the National Security Council. He might get on, but if he does, that means that Republicans will have to vote to put a confirmed anti-Semite racist idiot on the National Security Council. Question 9. Economics. What would you use to fix the economy? A. Russian oligarchs. B. Tic Tacs. C. Multivariate quantitative easing. D. Rapists, murderers, and a few good people. Or E.
The best solutions. Seriously, the best. I mean, I have the best solutions and the best people.
Well, those sound like all really good answers. Maybe we should just use the Ouija board.
Well, that's how he decides what's executive order to sign, I'm pretty sure.
The Ouija board? The best. Or he talks to, like, that mirror, says, "You are the greatest, Donald. You're looking so good today. Make the comb over a little more over the overest."
The Maleficent mirror? Maleficent?
Exactly.
Question 10. On average, one of the blacks in Chicago kills somebody every 18 hours. How much carnage happens in 100 days?
I guess it depends if you're one of the blacks.
By the way, the answer is...
1800.
Let's see. 100 times 4 with 133.
Why 133?
Well, because...
No, that's been saying, like, why? The answer is 133.
Yeah, but that's a lot of carnage.
That's a lot of carnage.
More on this when I tell you how this book is a joke. I read it as a sociological experiment. This is the book by Mike Huckabee.
Guns, guns, grits, and gravy.
Little did Charles know the experiment would be on him.
Yes, I grew an ear in the middle of my back.
Oh my goodness. The better for hearing the Russians with.
Here's a science question. No, wait, it's not a science question. What is the 8th book of the New Testament? A. Ephesians. B. This. C. 2 Corinthians. D. The Gospel according to Ronald Reagan. Or E.
The Art of the Deal.
I'm really excited for the Bible's new release. It's going to be, like, so biblical. It'll be, like, the most biblicalist. I'm just really excited. Is J Money coming back, do you know? Resurrection Sunday.
It hasn't died yet. Just wait till Monday, Thursday for him to die. Or Good Friday.
Oh, Good Friday, okay. No, we only have to wait a couple minutes.
And final question. How many people attended Donald Trump's inauguration? A. 5 million. B. 15 million. C. 38 million. D. 320 million. Or E.
More than Obama's.
More than Obama's. There was a lot of people there, but not as many at the Metallica concert in Russia. Lots of other people there.
Okay. I think that kind of wraps up this segment.
Great.
Okay, enough chit-chat, enough jokes. What about ICE? It's being reported that ICE is going into schools and churches. Earlier this week, my neighbor Henry Buccio posted that a mother who had children who were American citizens got deported.
The mother did?
Yeah.
Not her citizens, yeah. There was a bunch of people I know arrested in, they had a bunch of protests in North Carolina, and then there was a passing in Chicago public schools that no ICE agents would be allowed in during school hours, which I think is just a sad thing. If, people are trying to get an education, you can't just have Gestapo coming in and taking people away.
You know what that is?
Gestapo?
No. You know what happens when it does, how I feel when it does that?
Not okay.
Sad.
Sad. So sad.
Sad.
It's messed up, though, Just
yeah, it is.
Don't be taking people, and then it's just like a lot of ostracizing people and...
I know people who are Muslim, and I know people who are illegal immigrants. And in both cases, what Donald Trump is doing to those people is patently unacceptable. And anybody who did not vote for Hillary Clinton to stop this did so out of a place of abject privilege.
I think there's a lot to say. Hillary didn't win the election. She's not in the seat. She's not the president. But there's a lot of just whining and complaining and just hating on Trump. I do not like and don't agree with his principles, but there's so much that you have to be what can you take initiative of? What do you actually have control over? Just hating him instead of having some faith that he can not ruin our country in the next 4 years.
I mean,
reasonable.
I started with the assumption that he might actually do something right. Then within the first 2 days, he said he was going to build a wall, and he instituted the Muslim ban, and he appointed Betsy DeVos, a.k.a. Sarah Palin, in a blonde wig.
Ooh, that's a good one. How is Miss Palin doing?
I don't know.
We should call her.
Well, you know, Maverick, Lipstick, Pitbull, America.
You know, Trump, you should come on down to my house. I can see Russia from my window.
That's not how. Sarah Palin more sounds like this, and Betsy DeVos also sounds just like that. And we should stop.
Choppy.
But there are really serious things that Donald Trump is doing. And unfortunately, no, he is not going to be impeached. He is not going to be impeached for 2 more years. He will not be impeached because the Republicans know that he's all they got right now, and if he hadn't won, their party would have died, which is why you should have voted for Hillary Clinton, so the Republicans would die. The people who want a Bernie party, the way to get a Bernie party is the Republicans die, the Hillary wing of the Democratic Party becomes the Republicans, and the Bernie wing of the Democratic Party becomes the Democrats.
Sounds like a lot of carnage.
Carnage!
I think a lot with the distrust and just not being able to say this is real, this is false, this is false, this is false, and proving it's false. There can be a lot of, especially like the leaking of confidential material. You know, just get a hold on your own White House and staff. Don't be like blaming, well, they won't let me put my people in, so it's all their fault.
But the problem is there is a vacuum. 50 years ago, everybody listened to Walter Cronkite. And Walter Cronkite did bring down Johnson, he did bring down Nixon, and he could have brought down Donald Trump if we were still, everybody sat down and listened to the network news every night and read the newspaper every morning.
It was good days.
But there is a vacuum because people get their news from all different sources. And you know who's taking advantage of that vacuum?
The D, Charles.
The Danny.
The Donnie. Well, I think there's a vacuum, but there's also this, like, grab the right story, grab the, like, also the worst, most shocking information. And for him, he just don't discredit the American people, too, by just, like, saying all news is fake and different sources.
Fake news.
Right. I feel even if, like, confidential material comes out that is true and reasonable, he's just had a long standing of just saying this is wrong, this is not true, and some of that actually being not true and real. He can just be calling things false.
And the problem now is that people trust him as much as they trust the media. It's about 48-48.
Yeah, it's a scary thing.
Most of the things he says are
wrong.
Right. And there aren't like things like FDR having a radio program we could all sit down, and listen to, right when we were younger in those days. Or Obama had the YouTube channel that he did those weekly addresses, but Donald is just these tweeting little fingers. I'm gonna tell you how it really is.
And Sean Spicer.
Sean Spicy. He's quite the vocabularies. He makes up words, kind of.
And he also he also eats
gum. Yeah, he's a gum eater. He's got that fresh breath. Tic Tacs.
I'll get back to you later.
Spicy.
And Donald Trump got pissed when Spicer was portrayed by a woman. And now Jeff Sessions has been portrayed by a woman.
Yeah, and Kellyanne Conway shouldn't be portrayed by a woman.
Who do you think should portray Kellyanne Conway? I say it should be Steven Tyler.
Oh, Steven Tyler's an interesting choice. I was thinking more, what's the guy who did, creepy guy.
The creepy guy's in the White House now.
That's true.
By the way, did you hear the DNC election was earlier today?
Oh, did you attend?
No, I voted for delegates, and they voted for Ellison, and Perez won. And the problem was people were viewing this as kind of some rehash of the Hillary-Bernie fight. You can't. You gotta accept. Bernie lost. He was always gonna lose. Hillary got more. I know people who believe that Bernie got more votes than Hillary. I voted for Bernie. I voted for him at a time when it was clear he was gonna lose. I voted for him. He lost. Hillary won. I was mentally prepared to vote for Hillary. I phone banked for Hillary. I put a Hillary sign in my lawn. I had to go to Pasadena to get one, but I still got one.
Gotta check it. Did you know they started this outdoor concert for Bernie Sanders? It's called the Burning Man.
But the problem with the Democratic Party, and hopefully Austin Mejia, you're going to be on the show the next time we have it. You got out of it this time, but you're not going to have any excuses in a few weeks because the March 7th elections are over, so you're going to be on it next time. My thing is, I don't think the Democrats need to completely abandon their principles. I think they have focused a little too much on identity politics. It's pretty clear that more than half the country isn't ready for the brand of identity politics the Democrats are selling.
Right.
Particularly when it's kind of a Maslow's hierarchy of needs situation. If your pocketbook's screwed, you can't worry about other people's identity politics. And I think, on the other hand, I do think that more than half the country is ready for robust, liberal economic policies.
Where did you get that from?
Well,
Feel it in here?
yeah. Also, there is the sad fact that Hillary lost Michigan to Bernie and then lost it to Trump.
Yeah, that was quite something.
And
I think a lot of people are just calling for change, and they're like, "Well, he sounds different. He made money, so why doesn't this transfer to politics?" It's
well, Hillary is the worst change candidate.
yeah. She's like, "I'm gonna keep things, sneaky but alive."
Well, and it was a bit of a change election. Hillary ran a strategy that won her California by record numbers and still lost her the election.
Right.
And Hillary was a bad candidate. But I accept that she won the nomination. I don't buy all this it was rigged. The media's not telling you that it was rigged. No, should I say, it was rigged. The media's not telling you that it was rigged.
I did watch his debate with about economics.
I don't
Did
get
you
why
watch
he's
that?
still a thing. I mean, he's only a thing because people didn't want to vote for Hillary Clinton. I was uncomfortable with Hillary Clinton because she was too far to the center.
Right.
I was not uncomfortable with her because she was a woman. Had Elizabeth Warren run, I would have voted for Elizabeth Warren. Had Joe Biden run, I might have voted for Joe Biden.
He's a beautiful man.
And the thing is, but did you hear that Obama cheated on him?
What?
Yeah, he cheated on him with Richard Branson.
What?
Haven't you seen the
I
Obama?
have not seen that meme. I don't feel that's real news if you haven't had a meme about it.
Just look up Obama kite surfing.
Oh, I saw that.
And you know
He looked pretty good kite surfing, and then he had that hat on backwards.
And you know who he was with?
The guy who Virgin Airlines.
Richard Branson. Yeah.
Richard Branson.
Richard Branson's a cool dude.
Oh, you've met him?
No. You know who I'd like to meet? I'd like to meet... Remember how Bernie had his brother who cried at the convention? His brother has a son. And you know how Bernie's kind of the crazy Jewish uncle of the country?
Yeah.
There's actually a guy, and he lives in England, who actually is...
Bernie's nephew?
Yes.
That's a cool one.
Okay. So, Mike Huckabee. Have you ever seen Mike Huckabee's food analogies?
Which one?
Now,
that he
Trevor
says-
Noah did a supercut, like, oh, I'm gonna go on a diet, but first I'm gonna eat a big stack of Krispy Kreme donuts. Or it's like pizza and chicken, and it's the Golden Corral. The health exchange is. Anyway, I came to the theory that liberals lost because they don't know anything about conservatives. So I read Mike Huckabee's book,
God, guns, grits, and gravy.
The real grit of the nation.
Anyway, Mike Huckabee had this theory that America is L.A., New York, Washington, and rest of country. I would slightly amend that, and I think Donald Trump and Steve Bannon think this too, and I think that to a certain extent there is a grain of truth to it, that it's L.A., Chicago, San Francisco, New York, and Washington. So I add Chicago and San Francisco. Or as Trump and Bannon would call them, Sodom, Gomorrah, Carnage, people making money, and the swamp.
The swamp.
And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, in post, I'm going to add a graphic of that map I did.
Nice.
Anyway.
This is the map.
Well, one of the problems I have with liberals is liberals do nothing to refute conservatives' perceptions. Like, conservatives would say, liberals, you're godless. And liberals are like, yeah, we are.
I love being an atheist. It's the only way to think, man.
But Mike Huckabee says some things here that are either not true and or partisan. Well, for starters, he says, damn it, you can't get grits in L.A., New York, and Washington. Actually, you can. Ever heard of Roscoe's Chicken Waffles?
So good.
And that which brings me to another problem
Mike Huckabee's
I have
favorite.
with Mike Huckabee's book. And that's,
You can't eat
where
it.
the hell are all the black people? It's basically, this book portrays America as a fight between white urban elites and real Americans.
I feel it's against white heterosexual men, against other white heterosexual men, not even elites.
Well, no, there's a whole chapter about homosexuality.
Impressive, Huckabee.
But of course, he believes in traditional marriage. He believes in the whole slippery slope BS. I mean, he's like, well, where are we going to go after that? But one of the problem is that he fundamentally believes that law should be based in the Bible. Never mind that. And by the way, I might read the Bible cover to cover next.
That sounds good. In Hebrew?
I don't speak Hebrew.
Yes.
No, in English. The King James Version.
2.
No, the real version.
The only version?
Yeah, there's only
The
one.
number 1.
Anyway.
Just watch the Mel Gibson movie. That tells you, like, the whole thing.
But,
That's what they do in religion school now. They just
and of course there's
watch Mel Gibson.
well, there are 3 main assumptions that give me pause about this book. By the way, I read this when I was a night watchman at a homeless shelter. Had I not been a night watchman, and had I actually gotten a choice of how to spend my time, and I could use a computer and everything, I would not have finished this book.
What does a night watchman do?
Wait for stuff to happen and then
Watch it?
do something about it.
Oh, you're a night watchman and night doer.
Well, I was a night watchman at a homeless shelter. Like, if a guy shoots up in the homeless shelter, I have to kick him out.
Okay.
Or
That sounds
if
like
a guy,
quite a job, Charles.
Or if a guy shits all over the place, I have to figure out how it gets cleaned up.
Well, good for you.
Or if the room they're all in smells like BO, I have to open a window.
Oh, wow. So it's a night watchman and a night doer, though.
Yeah. But there are 3 main suppositions of this book that very few liberals have. But, 1, the Bible is the basis for, should be the basis for law. 2, most people do sensible things all the time, and laws are not needed. Was there a 3rd one?
That grits is the gravy of the nation. Insert graphic.
Darn it, the
of
third one I can't!
brain fart.
Oops. Rick Perry reference there. I'm trying to remember what the other presupposition.
I mean, that's a big thing with the Bible, or even conservatives hating being defined as, religious gunslingers who sleep with their sisters.
Well, and I will give this to Mike Huckabee. Mike Huckabee is a better man than many Christian conservatives. Near as I can figure, he's never cheated on his wife, or,
Have you asked him?
No, but if he's actually as good a person as he says he is in this book, he's not a bad person. And I actually have some problems with the hypocrisy of Christian conservatives.
I think that's reasonable. Hypocrisy of anything.
I'm trying to remember what that third supposition was. I mean, government is unnecessary in the Bible. Because he doesn't... But other than that, the question is, how do liberals understand people like this?
Just see him more as opposition, right?
That didn't work. Because an interesting thing I was thinking to myself, people who have never been to LA, New York, or Washington, people who've never been 200 miles from home, white people who've never been 200 miles from home, I'd be willing to bet that Donald Trump carried those people going away. And actually, if you take away the 5 cities I mentioned earlier, he actually got more votes than Hillary.
Oh, really?
And he would have won the Electoral College going away.
He's definitely spoke to a lot of people, and a lot of people, wanted change or felt things were different, or things had to be better.
But Mike Huckabee, I don't think quite understands the role of government, and I think it does need to be defended better by liberals.
It sounds a little idealistic.
It is. Like, for example, in the gun chapter, he says, oh, come on. No guy who actually knows how to use a gun would ever cause an accidental gun death. Yeah, right.
Oops, save. I don't know, the war on drugs and war on guns doesn't help to say no, can't do things.
Well, the war on drugs and the war on guns. We didn't get to talk about this. Did you hear that Donald Trump is going to crack down on California's legalization of marijuana?
Yeah, I did hear that.
And basically, near as I can figure, they're doing it to screw California over.
Right.
He's
mad at us. He's mad at us now. I think Californians have to, we have to start the separatist movement,
Why?
Because, I don't know,
if we don't stay in the union...
It sounds like I think it could be really trendy. Like, separatist. Like, they totally did that in Canada. Why can't we do it here?
Well, the thing is, if we leave the union, the rest of the union goes to hell. And setting aside... Well, that's one reason. Because, again, without California's votes and electoral votes, it's very difficult for a non-Trump kind of person to get elected. No, the other thing about this book, and maybe this was my third thing, he doesn't like Obama. Now, the thing is...
A little bit of a sore loser.
Oh, yeah. He has a chapter... Sad. He has a chapter on reality TV, and he blames Hollywood for reality TV. What he should blame... He shouldn't blame the people who produce reality TV. He should blame the people who watch reality TV.
Exactly. Your Aunt Lucy sitting at home.
And I think
People's Court.
I think when you actually parse it out, I mean, us liberals are more likely to watch stuff like Downton Abbey, and actually, probably it is the uneducated who are most likely to watch reality TV.
I guess I've been watching a lot of True Blood lately. I do see that kind of as somewhat of a different reality. And I just joined Rihanna's army, or Navy. So I'm now in the forces.
Okay.
It's just good to be, active and included.
Hey, we're seeking guests for future Music and Musings shows. So if you're interested in appearing in a future episode of Music and Musings, just hit me up.
Be amused.
So, as you know,
Donald Trump's a very Nixonian president, wouldn't you say?
A little bit.
I mean, both of them believe in executive privilege. I mean, both of them probably will have presidencies that ended in disgrace. So, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to read Donald Trump quotes in a Richard Nixon voice, and I'm going to read Richard Nixon quotes in a Donald Trump voice.
A little bit of a Freaky Friday musings, you know.
Okay, number 1. We're going to make America great again. We're going to build a giant wall, and we're going to make the Mexicans pay for it. Number 2. I'm saying if the president does it, it's not illegal. Number 3. Congressman John Lewis should spend more time on fixing and helping his district. All talk, talk, talk. No action or results. Sad. Number 4. And a little girl, Tricia, 6-year-old, named it Checkers. And you know, the kids, like all kids, love the dog. I just want to say this right now, that regardless of what they say about it, we're going to keep it.
Do we have to keep him?
Number 5. Meryl Streep, one of the most overrated actresses in Hollywood, doesn't know me, but attacked last night at the Golden Globes. I did not insult that reporter. I would never do that.
It was a big controversy, Nixon and Meryl Streep. Remember that?
Number 6. I never expected that the China initiative would come to fruition in the form of a ping pong team.
Ping pong politics.
Number 7. They're bringing crime. They're bringing drugs. They're rapists. And some, I assume, are actually good people.
Carnage.
And the final one. Well, gentlemen, you won't have Donald Trump to kick around anymore. Because, gentlemen, this is my last press conference.
And I won't be attending the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
Oh, that's another thing. Both Donald Trump and Richard Nixon blamed the media for everything.
That's a good point.
Like Richard Nixon, when he lost for governor and he said, "This is my last press conference." Who did he blame for losing?
Media.
The media. Sad.
Media, so sad. It's just more like it's never their fault. It's just not taking any accountability. Everything's good alternative facts. Why don't we make alternative facts about Donald Trump that would make him a better president?
Why don't we? And the only thing yes, like Donald Trump actually buttons his suits. # alternative facts.
Does he spend a lot of time in a robe? I've read that somewhere. About 80% of the day is spent in a robe. I always feel like I'd see him in a robe eating Cheetos, but very importantly, like he just inspect the Cheeto. This Cheeto's not huge enough. I need the crunchy, the spicy Cheetos. I want those Mexican Cheetos. Those are my favorite. He's in a robe, laying down, and has some ridiculously small dog with no hair on it, except on its cheeks.
So it's like Donald Trump
It's
like he's gold member.
Yeah, or he's the Paris Hilton of the White House.
Sad. You want to move on to the sports report?
That sounds good.
Okay. Basically, in the sports report, I'm going to talk about candidates for the NBA Hall of Fame, and she's going to bitch about how we have the Chargers now.
We have LA has the Chargers. They took them away. I also think that we should reinstate a Space Jam League in our country, where aliens and Michael Jordan can play basketball. Welcome to the Space Jam.
Yeah, I got what that was. But anyway, candidates for the Hall of Fame. Ian Tracy McGrady, BGI of 125.8.
I don't know. Tracy, he's worked hard this year, but has he worked hard enough?
Okay, why don't you ask me what the BGI is?
What is the BGI? It's the Raw Doll.
That's the BFG. No, the BGI is the
What is
Bennett
acronym?
Greatness Index. It's what I use to determine whether or not a retired basketball player can get into the Hall of Fame.
Oh, wow.
Now, the biggest drawback to Tracy McGrady is that he never won a playoff series. But he had a PER. This is just getting boring, isn't it?
Well, I heard, is it Magic Johnson in the running for that?
Magic Johnson's already in the Hall of Fame. He's also president of the Lakers now. Let's talk about that instead.
That's an interesting one. Or, yeah, Magic Johnson.
Yeah, they fired their owner. The Lakers fired their owner.
That is pretty sassy.
One of the Lakers owners fired the other Lakers owner.
And, yeah, and I miss Dennis Rodman in basketball.
I don't.
He was one of the most colorful players.
He's a jackass.
I'm not talking just about his head.
He's a jackass. He's an unmitigated jackass.
A little bit. But I think we got a lot of that going in basketball anyways.
Yeah, pretty much. Practice? Practice? What were you talking about practice?
What are you talking about practice?
Playoffs? Playoffs? You
What
know,
are you talking about playoffs?
have you seen that clip? You know that guy went to Oxy.
Which guy?
Jim Morrow. The guy
Oh,
who says,
yeah.
playoffs?
Just some great Occidental grads.
Yes. He was Jack Kemp's roommate.
That's cool. We have a Spitz in San Diego now.
How many spits are there?
Think there's Spitzin about 2. Spitzin for fixin'? Maybe 3. I'm sure they have a website, right?
Right. I've still never gotten my parents to go to Senior Fish.
Oh, Senior Fish. That's good. What? Oh, El Arco is closing, I heard.
No, that's too bad. We went to the place that offers the big Sicilian pizzas the last time we were in Eagle Rock, which was last week.
Oh, you were in Eagle Rock last week?
Yeah, I
What
went to see a presentation on old maps at the Historical Society. It's very similar to the way it was when we were in
Does it
college.
does it remember you? All 6 years ago, then that was.
Well, it didn't know me in the first place.
I don't know. Do you know?
Not really.
So I read an article about Oxy. There was some 33-year-old arrested for stealing underwear out of the laundry room. Did they get your age wrong? Your age wrong, Charles?
Why would I steal underwear at Oxy?
I don't know who would do it at all, right? That's something messed up.
What is with that guy?
I don't know. I was just surprised to hear Oxy on the radio. I wish it was some better news, but it sounds pretty disturbing. How is he allowed even on campus and stuff?
Well, it's an open campus.
Yeah, it is.
He probably just snuck on in the day pretending to walk his dog, and then he snuck into his. But how do you get into the laundry room? All the doors are locked.
Way too premeditated for any part of it to be okay. You can't just be walking. Oh, I found some underwear and took it with me. I don't know. They got him on like a video camera, something.
Yeah, that's gross. Don't do that.
Don't do that. Oxy no go.
So, I think we're kind of nearing the end of the show. Anything you want to plug?
No.
I want to plug my Magic Ape game show, Outsmart Charles Bennett. We need more contestants. It's quite simple. You just go on there, you embarrass yourself, I ask a bunch of questions, you get them all wrong. That's how it works. I'd like to plug the new community organization I'm starting, Better Whittier Transit Now. What do we want?
Better transit.
When do we want it?
Probably tomorrow. Now.
Yes. Anyway, yeah, talk to me about that. And also I'd like to plug my community notice board, all about Whittier. It's wall-to-wall coverage of that, of Keith Boyer. Unfortunate death there. And all the other coverage that isn't about Keith Boyer is about Ted Snyder. Another unfortunate death there.
Kind of depressing, Whittier. You need some
Yeah,
better stuff on your boards.
2 high-profile deaths in the last week.
I was driving here on my way, and I passed the post office, and I saw that Whittier actually has its own Central Park. I didn't know that.
Yeah, my church is across the street from the post office in Central Park.
This was the original Central Park, though, right?
Right. Right.
And New York is modeled after it.
No. We're not that old.
I don't know. No one knows, you know. They don't know about it.
Anyway, remember, Sarah, only the listeners won. We lost. We'll always lose. I'm Charles Bennett. This has been Musings.